Yay Media Group.
Like, I text retired neighbor the other day. I hadn't heard from him. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, are you out of town? Are you all right? Because a lot of times I'm like, he could be dead in there and nobody would know because he lives by himself. And he appreciates that I check on him.
Oh, good to see you. I thought you were dead in there.
I tell him all the time. And we talk about it. I'm like, something could happen to you and none of us would know.
He texted me already, smoking weed on the back deck. He's waiting for the Buffalo Sabres to play. He's fine.
Hey guys, episode 240. I feel weird without my TogetherMess cup sitting here.
Don't worry, you got your McDonald's cup.
I know. It's not a big gulp today. It's just a McDonald's cup. I have to have like my caffeine. But we have these guys we're working with, and we are coming out with more tumblers, coffee mugs, and everything.
Yeah, we're working on it. Like every episode, we say we're working on stuff. So always working on stuff. But anyway, big weekend. It's Friday here. I know you guys aren't going to hear this till Monday, but I love Kentucky Derby weekend.
I know. You get so excited. You normally cook like a meal. You celebrate Kentucky Derby like you're from Kentucky, and it's like a thing.
I don't know why. I just
saw
love it.
Stephanie from Dallas Housewives.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her husband are there, and I sent her a heart emoji. I'm so jealous right now.
Yeah.
She looks so cute. She had on like her little hat and like the dress. I just want to go for the outfits and like dress up. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. So it's something I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. I love the horse races.
Anybody have a connection with Kentucky Derby? Y'all want to get us tickets? We'll pay.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's like probably like 10 grand, right?
But it's just fun. I don't know. It's just something I want to do. I like the atmosphere, like the whole thing with the horses. We used to go to the horse races in Santa Anita all the time.
I know. It was so ghetto.
Santa Anita?
Not Santa Anita, the other one that we went to. It was ghetto.
Which one?
The one that we took everybody, all of our friends at one time. We took Nicole from Big Brother.
Oh, where was that?
It was like a rundown one that was super old, and it was just it seems like the Santa Anita one replaced it.
Oh, Santa Anita's nice. And then Del Mar is really nice.
Maybe it was Santa Anita because Del Mar's nicer.
Yeah, Del Mar's nicer for sure.
Okay, then it had to be the Santa Anita one.
It's not ghetto. What are you talking about?
I thought it was kind of run down.
And then me and my buddies used to go to Arlington Racetrack when we back in Chicago. They tore that down. That's supposed to be like where the new Bears Stadium is. They ripped it down. But anyways, I always liked going there. It's not like I win money, but you have a couple beers, you bet the horse, and it's 45 minutes between. You're hanging out in the sun. I just like that. And then you're cheering for your horse. We
took Lawson as a baby. He's been to the racetrack.
Yeah, I love spending a Saturday afternoon at the racetrack. It's fun.
I like back home in North Carolina, they used to do a Kentucky Derby like party back in Waxhaw. And it was like somebody's like farmland, and it would like look legit. Like you were actually going to the Kentucky Derby and everybody dressed up.
It's fun. Did I ever tell the story of when I went to Del Mar with my roommate's like girlfriend?
Ooh, I don't think so. I don't even think I know this story.
Yeah, so this is a funny story. So when I was living in LA the first time, my roommate was dating this girl, and she happened to be from Park Ridge. Like where the neighborhood.
That's a nicer area.
That's where Marty's restaurant.
Yes.
That's where Nona Sylvia
is nicer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was from Park Ridge, and Norwich is like the next town over. So anyway, I was like, oh my God, you're from Park Ridge? And we were talking, what are you doing out here? Blah, blah, blah. And she asked my roommate at the time, Alex, and she's like, hey, my grandfather owns a horse. Do you want to go down to Del Mar with me tomorrow? And I was working at the time. He goes, I can't go tomorrow. I got things to do. He goes, my roommate loves horses. He goes, Jeff might go. And I got back from work. And then she's like, hey, I'm going to go down to Del Mar tomorrow. She goes, is it weird? Do you want to come with me? And I was like, yeah, I got to work tomorrow, but you want to go in the morning? I had to work at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, I'll take a drive down there with you. I'm like, your grandfather owns a horse? And she's like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So we drove down there and we were just talking about whatever. And so I was just wearing shorts and like flip-flops and a t-shirt. It was hot. It was San Diego, And so we get there and she was just wearing like a sundress or something. And we get there and it's like this old Italian guy. And we meet him and he goes, And he goes, hey, this is my boyfriend's roommate, Jeff. And I was like, hey, how's it going, sir? Blah, blah, blah. He goes, what are you guys wearing? And I was like, I don't know. He goes, you're going to be in my box. He goes, go put on clothes. I didn't have clothes.
He made you?
We went to Marshall's and I got like $10 dress pants and like $10 dress shoes. And I had to buy like pants and shoes. Not even joking.
What would you show up wearing?
Shorts and flip-flops. I thought we were going to be hanging out, like having a beer in the afternoon, you know? We were in his box. He owned a horse and like was serious about it. So we went and changed. We just found the closest like Marshall's. We come back and he's like, better. He's like, come upstairs. So we go upstairs. The races hadn't started yet. Like we were scrambling. So I was like, and he seemed like very mafia type, you know, you know what I mean? All old Italian guys with money seem like that. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but he was very serious. And I was like, hey, asking around, we're in the box. I'm like, got any tips? He's like, take the 3-horse. And I was like, all right. So, you know, I have like $10. I'm like, I put money on a 3-horse. The 3-horse wins. I was like, oh my God, it won like $60. His race was the 3rd race. I'm like, wow, you really know your horses. You got a hot tip for the 2nd one? He's like, take the 6-horse. I took the 6-horse. I put like $20 this time because I won money. It hit. I won like $200.
How did he know?
He's around horses all the time. I don't know how he knew. I mean, it's
Doesn't it depend on
it's such a crapshoot. It's such a crapshoot.
What are they called? A jockey?
The jockey, the breeder, so many things go into it, you know? So, but in the end, it's a crapshoot, you know?
I think it's so cool if you're like, I own a horse.
I know. It's like the bossest move of all time.
It's so funny though, because back when Jeff and I were dating, you were like, I am such a city guy. And I remember being like, I don't know if this is going to work out because I am not a city person and I am the opposite of this. Now you're the guy that's like, I would love to live on a ranch and like no one be around me. You love the suburbs. Like, I'm like, who are you?
The further away from the city, the older I get. So I'm just going to end up on a mountaintop one day.
I know, but you used to not be that. Like, I always thought you'd be that guy living in an apartment in the city in a high rise.
No.
And you were never going to, you were never going to change because you were so set on that.
All right, it's springtime, so you know how busy things get with everybody being outside, kids' activities, schools winding down. There's so much going on, and it's tough to make a healthy meal.
It is, and Hungryroot helps you stick to your diet. It helps you eat healthy. It's just so convenient, especially for people who are always on the go.
Yeah, I love going to the grocery store. I love shopping, but sometimes there's not enough time in the day to do everything. And Hungryroot is perfect because they have over 50,000 different recipes to choose from. That's almost too much, but I like to stick to my basics. I like a Mediterranean diet. I like a meat diet, and Hungryroot has something for everybody.
I've been working out a lot. I've been trying to stick with my fitness goals and everything, and Hungryroot helps keep me on track with those goals.
My favorite part about Hungryroot is that it holds all of its food to high standards, screening out over 200 additives, including high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. That's something that we really try to focus on in this family.
Hungryroot sources only high quality ingredients like meat, seafood with no hormones, antibiotics, plus organic produce and non-GMO options.
You're going to love Hungryroot as much as we do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first order, plus a free item in every box for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/togetherness and use code TogetherMess. That's MESS. That's hungryroot.com/togetherness, code TogetherMess to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. I get more joy out of just being around nature and the land and fishing. That's like, I like that. Instead of the hustle bustle in the city, people protesting. What do you like? I don't care about your opinion. I don't have an opinion. Just leave me alone.
I love today. One of my neighbors went out of town and she's like, can you pick up my daughters? So I picked her daughters up from school too. And then I pull up and everybody's in lawn chairs already outside on the driveway. That is like my favorite. And one of the neighbors had sent me this meme and it said, who needs to go to a bar when you have this? And it shows I should repost it. It shows like the cul-de-sac and everybody like cheersing and walking out of their house with their drinks and everybody like hanging out. Like, this is fun to me.
Yeah, this is the best.
But other people would be like, oh my gosh, you guys are so boring. But our kids get home from school, everybody's outside like playing right now. And it's just, that is what I love. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, these are the days that in 20 years from now, we're going to wish we could go back to.
Oh yeah.
Even though like kids like have the attitudes right now and things like that, like these are going to be the times where people in 20 years from now, they're going to be moving away or things change or whatever happens. Like right now, we're all healthy. Everything's good. Like life is good. And it makes me like emotional. Like I text retired neighbor the other day. I hadn't heard from him. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, are you out of town? Are you all right? Because a lot of times I'm like, he could be dead in there and nobody would know because he lives by himself. And he appreciates that I check on him. I'm like, and he's like, oh, I'm good. It's just been raining and I've been staying inside.
I'm sure he appreciates that. Oh, good to see you. I thought you were dead in there.
I tell him all the time. And we talk about it. I'm like, something could happen to you and none of us would know.
He texted me already, smoking weed on the back deck. He's waiting for the Buffalo Sabres to play. He's fine. He's doing great. You think we're doing okay? He's doing the best. He's retired, got money. His hockey team's playing. He's doing all right.
I'm sorry. I went on a tangent.
Yeah. Tangent?
Whatever. Keep going.
Oh, wait. Let me real fast sneak this story.
No.
I'll get back to Del Mar. So our kids are in trouble. Speaking of when they're grown up. We do we're not getting them off to the best start. We're great parents and we try our best. But yesterday, things get, at the end of the day, you're tired. You don't want to deal with it. Kids are crazy. And we're like, Lawson, you got to sit down and learn your words. So Jordan's starting to get on him. And I was like, I don't like when Jordan's like upset, I don't want to jump in and he doesn't need to be double teamed, like yelling at. Sometimes I want to help out and support you. But then other times I'm like, you got it. I'll just leave it alone. So she's like, get out your words. So she gets the word. She goes, get out your pencil right now. And I'm just sitting there. I forget. I was watching I was watching Nuggets game.
Hang on, wait. But I do have to say this. Lawson it's not like the teacher sends home a printed sheet. Lawson writes his spelling on, it's like 1 through 15, and he handwrites it. Continue.
Right. So Jordan, get out your paper right now. The first word, he's in third grade. It
was 7:30. He had been playing outside the whole time. And I was like, they go to bed by 8:30 and I'm very strict about bedtime. My mom's like, you're like a drill sergeant when it comes to bedtime. And I am, because they have a hard time getting up. And I'm like, I've let you play outside from 4 o'clock. It's 7:30 now. Now it's time to come in and work on your spelling.
That's good. I'd rather them be outside playing. Anyways, Jordan goes, sit down, get the words. The first word, mama.
No, I go number 5, mama. And Lawson's like, what? I go, mama. And he's like, huh? And I go, Lawson, come on. It's mama. And he's like, okay, hang on. Let me see it. He was like, that I'm confused. I go, what are you confused about? The word is mama. So
I'm like, third grade. I'm like, mama. I'm like, that's not even a word. Like mama, that's not a word. I don't even know if that's a word. Like it's slang. Like mother would be a word if you're spelling or something. Anyway, she's like, mama. And then she starts spelling it. M-A-M. I'm like, mama. And he goes, Mom, I don't think you're reading the right word. He goes, are you talking about mammal? And I was like, just looking over and I started dying and Lawson started laughing. I go, is it mammal? Because I was thinking like mama. I'm like, what is that word?
I have to show it though with his handwriting. I did not see the L and I thought it was mama. And then I go, I'm so sorry. So
then everyone was kind of, there was tension in the air, but then we all started kind of laughing. I'm like, first of all, mama's M-O-M-M-A if you're going to spell mama.
Well, like I just got a necklace that's M-A-M-A, mama.
Oh, okay. I thought it was M-O-M-M.
And I thought Lawson, because he writes it himself, I was like, he just misspelled it himself. And I didn't even see the L.
It was funny. Anyways.
And then I felt stupid. And then I sent it to my mom group text. I go, you guys, I'm an idiot. Look what I just did. And everybody was like laughing.
Anyway, so like, they went to bed and I go to Jordan. I go, our kids are in trouble, man. We're in trouble.
Hopefully they're street smart.
They will be. They play outside. Listen, we give them other things. We give them other things. Anyways, back to the Del Mar story. So that guy hits the first 2 races, right? And I'm up. And at the time, I didn't have $300 in my pocket. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I got $300. So his horse is the 3rd race. And we go down to you go down in the stables and you get to see all the horses. We did that at Del Mar, right? Mm-hmm. It's real cool. All the horses, they're so big. It's awesome. And his horse was a big horse, but it was smaller than the other ones. And it was this little gray horse. And I'm looking at the other ones and his odds were like 10-1, and that's okay for racing. If you're a good horse, it's like 2-1 or something like that. So it's 10-1 and now I'm up $300 and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to waste money. I'm like, I don't think your grandfather horse is going to win. And she goes, he just won you like $300. You got to bet on the horse. I'm like, I know, I got to bet on the horse for sure. To win, I'm like, should I just put him the show? Because you could do win, place, or show.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
first,
you
second, or third.
always do that.
Yeah, so she's like, he won you money. Just put $20 on him to win. So I'm like, all right, I'll put $20 on him to win. With the weather changing, we're always on the go, but there's one thing that always stayed the same. You know what we're talking about, our AG1.
I love AG1. Every time I drink it, I feel like I have so much energy. I use AG1 for my gut health. I don't feel foggy headed. And it's just something that I've been able to stick to. Sometimes I have a hard time sticking to something. And this is something that I've been consistent on for 2 years now?
I use it every single day. I actually forgot my wedding ring here and there when I go to work, but I never forget to take my AG1.
I can tell when I don't take my AG1, and I like mine with 4 ounces of water, 1 scoop, shake it up, and I'm good to go.
They have their great basic flavor, which I still love, but now they have berry, citrus,
tropical,
which is your favorite.
Tropical is my favorite.
And they have great to-go packets, which even when we're on vacation or on the go, I take my AG1 with me. Usually I drink it first thing in the morning. And then they have AGZ, and that's the last thing I put in my body at night. It keeps me going, it keeps me fueled, and it actually gives me a peace of mind.
AG1 has over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Visit drinkag1.com/togetherness to get a free AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 K2 in your AG1 welcome kit when you first subscribe, a $72 value. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness. drinkag1.com/togetherness. drinkag1.com/togetherness.
That's drinkag1.com/togetherness. MESS. So we go down, we meet the horses and stuff, and then we go back up for the race. His horse won. I was like, oh my God, at like 10-1. I ended up coming home with like $600 that day. But after the horse won, I didn't even know this girl or the family. We all went on the racetrack and took a picture with the horse, like in the jockey, like to put on his wall. And I was in the picture. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
With my Marshall dress pants and my Scarpinis on, dude. It was so funny.
Nothing's changed.
Well, except I lose now. But it was just an amazing day. And I'm like, all right, we got to get out of here. And I went back to work. We drove back. But I was like, that was so much fun, man.
That's so cool that he knew that.
Yeah, he knew it was, and usually horses are.
That's why I don't bet, because I just don't like losing money. I like using your money and gambling, but I don't like using my money.
Yeah, we've been through that
when
before.
Jeff, when we were on our cruise, we talked about this. Jeff's just handed me hundreds. I'm like, all right, I'll gamble. And then I'm like, I'll gamble with your money. But I don't like gambling.
See, I don't like that. I just like the thrill of it. It is addicting. You do have to watch out because it's intoxicating.
I think if you're somebody that actually thinks that you're going to win every single time, that's when it's a problem. You go to Vegas.
It becomes a problem when you're betting $10 and you're like, oh, that's cool, but let's get crazy and let's try 50 Or let's get crazy. Let's put 100 on it. You know, that's when it's becoming a problem. Then it multiplies into all of a sudden you're putting your rent money on it or your mortgage payment. And like, that's when, you know, things could get out of control quickly, you know, because easy come, easy go. That's for sure.
Oh, if I was young and dated a guy and he was like gambling like that, I would be like, nope, that's like for the future. That's destruction.
Well, that's why everyone who owns like horses are multimillionaires, because the odds of your horse winning and you profiting off of that horse, because you're already paying a ton to stable that horse. And if it's already got like some sort of lineage, you got to pay more for that horse, and then you got to feed it and train it. And then it doesn't pay out in the end.
With the Kentucky Derby, you might not even know this. Do they use like the same owners?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there like a certain family that's...
Bob Baffert is like the number one guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because his horse wins every time, I'm assuming.
He wins every time, but he got in trouble a couple of years ago for like juicing up his horses. Yeah.
You can't do that?
No, you can't do that. But I mean, as a bettor, he's got a horse in this race too.
But then what happens to the horse? Like when they're coming down off steroids, you're pumping them up all year.
Well, usually they run between like 2 and 3 years old. You know, that's kind of when they run. That's young. Like the sweet spot for them. And a horse only lives. We actually had someone on the show today, this Dr. Q from Rescue Ranch. And she talked about like what happens, you know, the horse is running to make money, and say it's a winning horse, right? Then you use like its sperm to... People buy that horse's sperm because it's a winning horse. And then you have lineage, you know?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, so then you sell the sperm, but then the horse has still got a 20-year life.
Just happens to be lucky?
No, it's not lucky. It's like an athlete. It's like they're like the best athletes in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then you use their sperm, and then they're like, oh, this is, his mother was whoever, you know what I mean?
Oh, was Wendy.
Wendy the can't lose horse. But it's just, there's so much stuff that goes into it. And sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't, you know, like that couple of years ago, we moved in here, and like I said, I love it. So we had a party, and all of a sudden this party for like our neighbors and a couple of friends turned into like, there was like 60 people here that I didn't even know. Yeah.
Our house, like 3 years ago, used to be the party house. And then I put a stop to it.
And yeah, and that was Kentucky Derby. Me and Rich, retired neighbor, we had all this fish. We were smoking fish, smoking all this meat. I got up early. We were doing all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're going to throw our bets in, you know? And there was so many people that people are like, hey, do you have a hot dog for my kid? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. And I was like cutting hot dogs in half. I'm like, who are you? I don't even know who these people are. I don't even know anybody.
Well, it's just people in the neighborhood would be like, oh, we're at Jeff and Jordan's. And then they'd be like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Oh, they don't care. Just bring them over. So then friends were inviting friends. And I mean, we really did. I don't even know how many kids. All the kids were in our basement. And then Lawson, I think it might have been that night, Lawson's room got destroyed. There were... I guess kids had chicken nuggets and chewed up chicken nuggets and spit them out on my carpet.
And this was like a year.
This was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then gum stretched out on Lawson's carpet. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe Lawson's room. I remember just being like, all right, that's it. Somebody else can have parties at their house. Like my house is not going to be the party house anymore. And I promise you, like whenever I get mad or I put my foot down, that's like when I'm done, and like it'll never happen again. And it's never happened again. And now we just keep it like our cul-de-sac, like 4 people.
Yeah, that was the last.
That was the last straw.
I think that was the end of that.
And that was partially mine because I don't ever want anybody to feel left out. So like if somebody's like, oh, can the so-and-so family come? I'm like, sure, I don't know them, but I don't care. And then, yeah. And then it was just a nightmare. And then I was always the one the next day, cleaning up everything. Then I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Why am I doing this? Because nobody wants to have anybody at their house because they don't want to mess up their home. But our house was okay.
Anyway, so me and Rich were like cooking nonstop.
Yeah.
And we had all this food that we smoked.
About that.
And Rich is helping me out. And I'm like, dude, the race is going to go off. I'm like, I threw a bet in on like the favorite or something. And I wasn't even looking at the horses. Usually I like to sit down, read it, and do all that stuff. And there were so many people. I kept serving food. I'm like, the race is going to go off. I gotta watch this. So I threw in a bet on like the favorite, and I'm going through, and they're about to like take their, go to post. They're in the thing, and I go, oh my God, dude, there's a horse named Rich in here. Rich. It's called like My Name is Rich or something. He was 50-1. If we would add a little bit more time, I would have threw $5 on him because we were betting together.
Did Rich win? Or
50-1. My Name is Rich won the Kentucky Derby that year.
Up.
And there's so many people, we didn't get our bets in. And I was like, I can't believe that horse won, dude. I'm like, all these people. And I was just outside like smoking a cigar. I'm like, who are all these people? And Rich was laughing. I'm like, did you eat any of that fish? He's like, I didn't even have a bite of anything. I'm like, me neither. I'm like, what happened to all that stuff we smoked?
My friend's husband walks in my house and he's like, oh, who are these people in your house?
Yeah, that was the last one. But that's just it. So the favorite that year didn't win, and the 50-1 shot won.
Yeah.
And then another year, I remember all my Italian buddies were like in Vegas. I forgot the name of the horse. It was some Italian name. So I don't know what it was. It was very Italian. And they all were in Vegas, and they threw money on the horse. And then they text me, and they all put money on him, and he won, and he was a super long shot. I don't know if it was like 99-1 or something, but they all threw money on the Italian horse and it won. It was a crazy long shot. I forgot what it was, but so you never know, in horse racing, you never know.
I know, but I guess that's like the adrenaline thing with like gambling.
Yeah.
It's just the excitement.
You got to do enough where you're okay losing it. If you bet more than like, you're going to be upset and like, oh my God, my life's over, then you probably got a problem. I love Quince. If you haven't heard of it, it's a great wardrobe company. A lot of the clothes that you see me wear on this podcast are actually from Quince. I love the quality of their material. I love that it's just no labels, right? It fits good. It feels good. It's breathable. I love all their Henley shirts. They have short sleeve, long sleeve, all my favorite colors, basic, white, blue. You know how I wear all my stuff. And I just bought a pair of white Golf Tech pants that I'm going to wear for the first time. I'm at the age now where I think I could pull off white pants.
Oh, everybody can pull off white pants, I think. All guys can. It just looks nice.
I just got them. I tried them on. They fit like a glove. They're true to size when they fit. There's something for everybody. And I'm telling you, check it out because all their prices are very reasonable and high quality material.
I got this hot pink sweater. It's so nice. It looks like something that would cost a lot of money, and it just looks so chic. And this past time, I went more towards the athleisure instead of buying the sweaters, and I got a cute tennis skirt to match a navy blue tank top that I got from Quince 2 years ago. Quince makes it easy to refresh your everyday this spring with pieces that feel as good as they look. They use premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and ultra soft denim. Their lightweight linen pants, dresses, and tops start at $30 and are effortless, breathable, and easy to wear on repeat.
Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/togetherness for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, our friends to the north. That's QUINCE.com/togetherness for free shipping and 365-day return. Very important. That's quince.com/togetherness. But it is fun. Like, I'm definitely going to bet tomorrow.
I'm sure going to Vegas. We've been talking about going to Vegas. I am not a Vegas person at all. I think the last time I went, did I tell? I probably shared this because I feel like I repeat myself so much. Last time I was in Vegas, I was with one of my friends. No, I take that back. It was the time before that. I was with you the last time. It was with AB and everybody. But the time before that, I went to go see Britney Spears. She had a residency there. And I went with a girlfriend of mine and another girlfriend in LA. And we were laying out at the pool. And I think it was Planet Hollywood. It was kind of like trashy a little bit over there. And my friend was talking to these guys that were there for a bachelor party, and I just stayed away because I just didn't want to talk to anybody. And I went up to go get a drink, but she was with all those guys from the bachelor party, and they were all like hanging out, and she's single. And I was waiting on my drink, and the guy beside me that was with the bachelor party thought that I crushed a beer over his head. He was that wasted. It was like those type of people. Like it reminds me of like New York guys that are like kind of Guido-ishy, and they're all like, yeah, and just like annoying. And that's kind of like those guys. That's
like
kind
the
of
Jersey Shore?
Kinda. But they just look trashy. You know what I'm talking about? Like those type,
totally.
like the New York guys that go down to Myrtle Beach. You know?
Yes, I get it.
So anyways, and they got the chains and gel their hair. Anyways, so his friend had smashed the beer on his head, and his friend was to the left of him. I was to the right of him. He was so drunk. I don't think he knew where he was going. He looked at me and grabs a beer and dumps it on my head. And I was like,
I wasn't there.
Jeff was not there.
Yeah.
Jeff was not with me. But another girl that was with us, she brought her boyfriend, and he was a Marine, I think, ripped. And he came up to me. He saw the whole thing go down. And I'm not one to like scream or like cause a scene like that. And he was like, do you want me to do something? And I was like, no. I was like, it's fine. I was like, they're so hammered. They have no idea what's going on. And then one of the guys walked up to me and was like, I am so sorry. I will buy all your drinks, everything. And I was like, no, just stay away from me. Y'all are gross. And I was like, just buy my friend drinks. Y'all have fun. And I went over to my chair, and that is what I think about with Vegas. But it's because, I mean, I was like, what, 20, how old was I when I went? 27? And it's like, I was staying at that type of hotel with that type of people. And it's like, I feel like if I go to Vegas, like my neighbors always go to Vegas, they know the hotels to stay at where you're not going to be around those type of people.
Well, there's always going to be those type of people in any situation, but Vegas is amplified for sure.
Where I stayed at, it was like the 20-something-year-olds that are just like wasted and drunk and like just where you're not sitting at the pool enjoying yourself. It's like you don't want to go in the pool because it's probably full of pee. You know?
I'm sure
that's kind of what I picture. Everybody, because when you go there, no one's out of the pool. They're all standing in the pool. You know people are peeing in there. And that grosses me out.
Remember Sebastian Maniscalco gave
talking about the Band-Aid?
That's so funny. When you see a Band-Aid at the pool, it's worse than pee,
yeah.
I think.
But I do remember going to one place and I don't know. This just doesn't even make sense. Never mind. I'm not even going to.
Well, anyways, my buddy, who's my good friend, I talk about like, I say Big Jeff. Big E is coming in. He's one of the original bigs, and he's coming in tomorrow he's just traveling with his son, and he's just swinging through Colorado. So he's like, can I stop by? I'm like, yeah, buddy, the Derby's on. We're going to have a good time. So he's bringing his son. So I'm sure we're going to get into some old stories tomorrow, some old Vegas stories.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good Derby.
Yeah, the Golden Nugget stories.
Oh boy, the good old Golden Nugget. But see what I mean? Like those stories were fun at the time, but now that I get older, I'm like, that doesn't sound fun to me at all.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I'd rather be fishing somewhere or move further and further away from that.
Like that story I was just telling you guys about being at Planet Hollywood. Me and my friend packed a suitcase and we checked it in and we filled it with booze in that suitcase so we wouldn't have to pay all the expensive prices at the hotel. We pack lemon, limes, vodka, chasers, everything. And we stuffed everything really tight. And I have a photo of it that I took because I go, this is hilarious. We're checking a bag in full of stuff instead of going to Vegas and paying for it. But we just wanted to get there and start drinking.
You know how many times I went to Vegas from after work, and I'm talking 2:30 in the morning after I got done, and we'd be like, let's just go to Vegas. And then we're like, we just drove, and it's a 4-hour drive. And we're like, if you watch the movie Swingers, that's what they do. And then you're like, it's 3 in the morning. You're like, let's go Vegas. And you don't get there until like 6:30, 7 in the morning. And the sun's coming up. You're like, what are we doing?
Remember you made me go on that roller coaster?
Yeah.
And it was wooden.
Yeah, because we used to do that not at 3 a.m, but like when I drove other times.
Yeah,
Me
I
and my
thought I was
roommate,
going to die.
that was like his tradition. So we drive there, like it'd be in the afternoon, and we'd stop off. It's like right before, I forgot the town, right before you get into Vegas, there's this old rickety roller coaster, and him and his buddies used to do that. So then I started doing that with him. And then me and Jordan drove down one time when I was back in LA, and I'm like, we got to hit the roller coaster. So we stopped at the roller coaster and we did it.
I was, the last time I was there, it was 8 months pregnant with Lawson.
That wasn't a roller coaster.
We went for Big E's.
Oh yeah, that's who's coming in tomorrow.
Someone's birthday.
Yeah,
and I was so pregnant, and you know when you got that full feeling, and I like did not. I had a 2-piece on, but I had this thing covering my belly because it was so big, and I felt self-conscious. And all these like ladies were so nice to me, and were coming up and were like, "Oh my God, you're pregnant!" I just looked like a big just seal. I was just laying in the shallow with my belly out because it felt good because it was so hot.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up there.
All right.
No, that was funny. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, but a good weekend. So I know the Derby's already happened. I hope your horse won. I don't even know who I'm picking yet, but I'll find out tomorrow.
All right.
Big E will speak to me and we'll pick a good horse.
There you go. Read a quote.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Let's just take the bottom one. The best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is not your own. No apologies or excuses, no one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. I should read that tomorrow before the Derby.
All right, guys. Every Sunday, 4:00. Amazon Lives, except for Mother's Day.
I think I read
not
from the
doing that.
discard pile. But anyways, it still applies.
It still applies. And I don't remember what else I was going to say. It's Friday. We're about to
Oh, Amazon Lives are back.
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, except for
sorry.
Mother's Day.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah. He was too busy about his quote. Okay, win big. We'll talk to you later. Bye.